everyone, so now I'm going to show you a teacher-led type of Pear deck. So I'm going to go to joinpd.com and I'm going to enter the code JZCDKL, and there's also a link that you can put in a chat or in Google Classroom. And this was something that I turned on in my settings. How are you feeling today? I can click one of these to tell my teacher how I'm feeling. It's just a quick SEL check-in for your students. And you get a report of that in the teacher dashboard. Okay, so here is just a practice one that I put together to show you some of the different ways that we can interact with Pear Deck. And so I clicked Start Class on the teacher end, and I'm now presenting, and I can move the slide along instead of the students moving at their own pace. Okay, so I can answer this question. Okay, and then I can add another response if I were to wish to add another response. Now I have to wait for my teacher to move forward. I can also lock my students' screens. So as you can see, I locked my student's screen and they're not allowed to answer anymore. So if you wanted to time their answers, if you were trying to do maybe like a quick multiplication sets or something like that, you could, give them all their multiplication. They can just add their responses, keep adding a response for the appropriate answers, and then you could lock their screens and see how many that they got right. I'm going to unlock their screens now, and I'm able to go back in and write a new response. Next slide. So I can drag and drop this icon to however I feel like my homework assignment is. And this is just what most of the drag and drops look like. Some of the icons are a little different. You can get a thumbs up, you can get a check mark. I think there's like a red dot, so you can change the colors and so on. On to the next slide. I wanted to show you a drawing slide. So it's just a repetitive of the other one. I can draw on this slide, and you can do matching. So if you have a row of maybe say Spanish words here, and then you have the English translations on this side, they can, connect which ones are the right answers. So you can test their knowledge that way. They also have the line feature. If you wanted to have them connect the lines, you could do it that way. And then there's a text response, so they can click anywhere just like you can on a Google slide, and they can fill in their answer. Okay. There's also the highlighter tool. The highlighter tool is actually really great too. You could give them a sentence and say highlight the verbs in yellow and the nouns in blue, and then we can see how much they understand or something along those lines. It's a great annotation tool. And they can clear everything if they want to start over. Here are two examples of poems my students had to annotate. They had to identify just different content in the poem and make life connections. Pear Deck made this really easy for us to work together and annotate. And here's my last slide. Again, it's just the drawing tools. I wanted to show you just a different way that they could do something. Draw a red circle. Oops, look, I didn't follow directions. So it could be as simple as following directions. I can click on red, and I can draw a red circle. So it's just another way to get students interacting. And again, here's my immersive reader that we know I love, and it allows students to translate anything into any language that they need, which is absolutely amazing.